Mike, turn your games down.
Hi, we're episode 242 of Games My Mom Found. I am Mike Albertin, and who's in another City X game with me today?
This is Bill Tucker from The Gamer Looks at 40, and this review is brought to you by Rookie Hunter Mode, because there is no way I was going to play this thing legit. There is no way that was going to happen. So thanks for having me, as always, sir.
I am the Let's Play Princess Phoebe Stanton. This episode is also brought to you by hitting one direction on your controller 3 times, followed by the opposite for the ultimate armor.
Okay, so I have a comment about that, but we're here to talk about MegaMan X6, developed by Capcom, published by Capcom, came out for PlayStation in 2001. But God, does that upset me, what you just said, because you are so right. I am upset that the ultimate armor is locked behind a code that you cannot get it in the main game unless you type in that code when you start your save.
See, I didn't. Yeah, I had no idea. I had no idea until like about an hour ago when I was kind of like, oh wait, there's another armor. I didn't realize. I was following a guide. I didn't get an armor, so it's a code.
Yep, you get it for beating the game, and the ultimate armor in some spots isn't even that good.
Ooh,
it isn't?
Okay, so you remember during... we're going to skip ahead a little bit.
That's fine, we can go however we go.
Do you remember Secret Lab 1 where you have to climb up the big elevator shaft with spiked walls?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Okay, so the Nova Strike at the top of your jump height, the first time you can kill that wolf, but you might accidentally dash into the next spike wall. You don't get enough height from both the highest jump possible and Nova Striking to get to the second platform. And because you're using the ultimate armor, which automatically upgrades every boss weapon to its charge shot form, the ice platform is now stalactites when you dash, so you can't make a raised platform either.
Well, can you switch armors?
No, unless you go back into stage select, but if you haven't beat the stage yet, you have to use up all your lives.
Oh.
Yeah, no, that level was awful.
Soft lock moments in this game.
There's a lot of them. Yes, there is. Oh boy. Yeah, I had a lot of restarts. See, you know what the solution to that is? Rookie Hunter Mode. Because you don't even kills you. You just bounce off of things and the game plays itself. It's fantastic.
Wait, does Rookie Hunter Mode turn off the spikes instantly killing you?
I don't know. I hit a lot of spikes and I had no... Enemies don't damage you.
Broken.
Enemies don't damage you. Like you just stand there all day and nothing. It's the most it's ridiculous. It's
okay. I didn't know that. I actually, because I felt that I should, I emulated this because it's me and I want to save states. But I ended up buying both X collections on Steam. I'm like, I really should buy these just because I feel like I should own something if I'm gonna do what I'm doing.
Rookie Hunter Mode is ridiculously overpowered. It's like it's not even that fun nor memorable. I was like, actually a week or so ago, I was thinking back, I got the MegaMan X6 recording. And then I thought, like, did I beat that game? Because it was so easy. There's no joy in defeating this. I was like, all right, fine, I'm done. I beat this like 3 weeks ago. I just had to get through it. I was so over it.
I'm going to let you the secret. Yeah. It wasn't rookie mode that took away the fun.
No. This game, I said this in your Discord, Mike Albertin, and I'm going to say it here. This game is like an annoying older brother who's better at you than at everything, but just needles you. It's just annoying you. Like, yes, X6, I know you're bigger, you're stronger, you have cool graphics, everything's big, but God, you are annoying. It's just a nudge. Just a nudge. This game is bafflingly annoying.
Bill, you absolutely took the right step when you went to Rookie Hunter Mode, because I can confirm even with the ultimate armor, I had to I probably did 95% of the content in this game to get all of the parts I needed, all the health upgrades, to be able to even attempt some of the last bosses. With the ultimate armor!
Ultimate armor should be easy mode, but no. The developers, when they made the Legacy collections, realized we need an easy mode. Like, we need Yoshi's Island easy or Yoshi's Crafted World easy. Like, that is what we need for this game. It's we'll talk about it when we get into the different things. But boy, oh boy, is this game just obnoxious.
Bad is the word you're looking for. Also,
Bad's good too.
It ain't good. So
No, it's not.
it's on there with some of the worst games that. Well, no, okay, not that, but it's one of the worst. It's definitely on there with like one of the least amount of fun I had with a Mega Man game.
Oh, by far. And that's no question. No question.
And I don't like that. Like, that bothers me that I did not have fun with a Mega Man game.
The worst part is that you can gleam little bits of light in this game through the darkness. There are some good points in it, but there's so much added. They added too much stuff to this game and new ideas that didn't balance with each other. And also some of these the level setups are some of the worst I've seen in any Mega Man game.
The level design in this game is horrendous. It is not acceptable. This is unacceptable level design and it's clearly rushed. And again, the provenance of the game is X5 was intended to be the last of the series. They rushed this game out.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, X5 is supposed to be the end. That was supposed to be the end of this. And then they make 3 more because money. MegaMan X6,
What was it? X5 ends with Zero canonically dying or getting super badly damaged. That's what's supposed to lead up to him being in the capsule in the ruins in the Zero series.
Right. And in this, and they decided, hey, we need another one of these. And they rushed it out in like maybe a year, like less than a year.
It might have been like 6 months.
Yeah,
there's a lot of enemy redesigns in this.
Yes, and how many of those dumb Reploid things am I going to shoot to get the blue orb that I don't know what just nothing's explained ever in this game.
No, I had to watch a speed run to actually understand what those blue orbs even do, besides make the enemy not respawn. So.
Everything's a counter, but so this is clearly the level design in this game is unbelievably bad. And I was thinking, I'm playing this game and I'm like, why is this not working? Because at the end of the day, it's just Mega Man X, right? It's dashing, it's shooting, it's jumping. I think the problem is that in the later Mega Man X games, there's too much detail. There's too much. And I feel like Mega Man is slowly getting bigger and bigger on the screen. So when Mega Man as a character takes up more real estate, there's just less room to maneuver. And that just makes things so much more frustrating because the fun of Mega Man X is in that freedom of movement. That's why Mega Man X is almost perfect because it feels so good to play. Nothing ever feels good to play in this game. It doesn't feel good. And I think that's a part of it.
It's not fun to move around. I mean, none of the levels were really that fun to even play. I wanted abilities that I had in previous X games I didn't have in this game. There was like, I don't know what it was, but I also never felt that, because I played this on emulators, so I didn't get the ultimate armor. I never really felt overpowered, and I like to feel overpowered at the end of a Mega Man game because I get everything. I usually get whatever the ultimate armor is. I get all the heart tanks. I get everything, and I never felt that great. I didn't like that
this
either.
Came out, you said what, in 2000?
I don't remember, but I have the wiki pulled up.
2001 it came out.
Yeah.
Okay. Nope. So this is right on the cusp at the end of the PlayStation 1. This might even be when the PS2 came out. One of the major problems with the level design is there are so many spots where you're supposed to go down. And there will be a spike pit down there or a bunch of infinite chasms that'll swallow you up. There's no way to actually figure out where the next platform is unless you, let's say, wall slide against the platform that you're currently on. And even then you might get just a pixel, a fraction of an idea of where you're going to land. We perfected this back on the SNES with Super Mario World. Hold the right bumper or the right button on your SNES controller. Oh, look, I can pan the camera around. You think that if you're going to have X have the ability to duck, which is practically useless for 90% of the game, you could at the very least have it where if you hold down X amount of seconds, the camera pans down. But no.
I like that pun there, by the way. Whether it was intentional or not, I like the pun. No, I mean, it's like, why don't you have that? Like, it's just weird the way the controls are, and just, like, I also don't like, I prefer the old X games where you'd get a piece of armor at a time. In this game, you get 2 different sets of armor. You have to collect everything before you even get a piece of armor.
That is ridiculous. X5 did the same thing. Like, so you get, there's some, that reminds me of, this might be an insane thing. Maybe I'm Final Fantasy on the brain. When you get a thing, the thing should do a thing. Like, it should do something. The fact that you have to get all 4 pieces of the armor in order for anything to do anything is obscene. It's like Final Fantasy 12 with the license board system. Like I got a sword, but I'm not licensed to use the sword, so it just sits there in inventory until I'm licensed to use the sword. What? That's one of the big reasons I jumped out of Final Fantasy 12, and I think that's gone now in the remake, I believe, which makes me very happy. But like, what do you mean I'm not licensed to use it? I got a thing. Let me use the thing. It's so disempowering, and it makes it feel like, and nothing's ever explained in game. Like I'm looking at the manual right now. And this thing's just a wall of text. No 13-year-old is reading this wall of text. 24 pages of manual. This is not happening.
I mean, somebody might have on the way home, but yeah, I mean, it's not. I feel like PS1 would have been the era when you explain things. Metal Gear Solid explains things. Press circle to do this. You know, like, why can't you just give me a wall of text in the game, like, periodically? Like, X5, it's like, oh, hey, make sure you press X to jump. In this game, like, no, you get nothing.
But here's the
sometimes they tell you what's ahead, but that's only if you pay attention to the fact that there's an exclamation point in the corner, and even then, the game never tells you what button to press to talk to Isla in the first place.
I didn't know what those did. I saw those. I beat the game. Never once did I didn't know what to do. I'm like, oh, an exclamation point. Okay, does that mean enemies coming?
You can talk to Alia if you press in the right stick.
What the fuck?
I could not get that to work for the life of me. I looked it up like, okay, clearly this means something, and I could not get the damn right stick to work. Or I'm with you, Mike. She was just shouting into the void like Metal Gear. She was shouting into the frequency, and I never tuned to it. I had the exact same problem. I could not figure it out for the life of me.
Also, this is the first Mega Man game that we've ever played for this show, which at this point is 1 through 9 and X 1 through up at 6. Yeah. I have never had a game where it was hard for me to figure out where I could farm enemies to fill up my E-tanks, because there's only one spot in this game I could find that has enemies that spawn that aren't that you can just farm.
No.
And that's a right near the end of the game.
Is there? Again, by the time the end of the game, I was blowing through it so fast. I don't remember it. I don't have any recollection.
This game decided to be cruel enough that after doing the mandatory 8 bosses in your Mega Man game, there is a final hall to Sigma, which is fine. You know, I'm okay with there being a final little tunnel between your mandatory boss hatch room and the final true boss. Don't put 40 enemies in there.
This game's idea of ratcheting challenge is annoying you with bad level design and throwing more things at you. This is the goal of this game. Here's more things to fire at. And I was thinking about this too, and X5 had the same problem. X5, I don't love that game. X5 is a masterpiece compared to this thing. But X5 did the same thing. It's constantly bolting things onto Mega Man. Megaman 6 is like an unwieldy, badly made Lego Transformer thing. Like it's just like a child bolting things on. Oh, I'm gonna put a grenade launcher, and oh, I'm gonna put this on, and all of a sudden it's toppling over, has no supports. And this game is just so top heavy with stuff that is not additive. None of this stuff adds up and helps. And Mega Man keeps doing this. It's trying to one up itself, and whenever it bolts something on, it just detracts a little bit. It's a miracle X4 is as good as it is.
X4 is my favorite. Why are the stages so hard, but some of these bosses are so pathetically easy?
Dude, bosses are unbelievably easy. And again,
disagree.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe some were really easy. I had a really hard time with one of them, but also none of them are memorable. I can't even, I'm off the top of my head trying to name a boss, and I can't even think of a boss to tell you the name.
I remember Commander Yamarich because it's not... it's not bug or animal related. And I remember Infinity Mujalner specifically for the fact that stage music mixes very well with the final countdown.
I can't even think of anybody. I'm looking at a boss right now because I'm watching a speed run. I can't even name the boss with the shells.
Oh no.
And that's a bad Mega Man game because
I just fought him and I couldn't tell you.
I can't remember his name. I'm watching the speedrun. I see him and I'm like, what the fuck is it? I don't remember his name.
I can name every boss in X4. I can name 2 to 3 in this game. There's Blaze Phoenix.
Okay, but to go back to it, I had a hard time with some of the bosses. Even just one of the regular bosses that gave me a super hard time was the purple guy. I don't know his name, but he clones himself.
Oh, that's Infinity Majoner. That's
and his
the
weakness,
worst one.
supposedly, in quotation that you can't see me doing, was the shield. I put the shield on, he just looked at me and said, "That's nice." And that was it. Nothing changed. Like, I had to fight I had to use E-tanks on that guy to beat him because I just could not. That's how ridiculous that fight was.
Yeah, I didn't have a hard time with. Well, again, I'm playing on baby mode. I'm playing on.
I wish I would have done that. The game was harder for me because I played it with save states versus doing rookie mode. I regret not doing rookie mode.
Yeah, but I like to think I'm intelligent enough to look at a boss design and say, "Oh yeah, this is actually I could just turn this off and be fine." And I felt like for a lot of the bosses, I was like, "Oh, this is just saving me time. I could probably figure this out, no problem." But the game, the levels are what kills it. I mean, every level has something stupid in it, like the raining one where you have to like shoot the things to turn off the rain.
And don't forget it's acid rain too.
And of course, it's acid rain, so your health is constantly depleting, which is wonderful as always. And what's frustrating about that is there is nothing worse than not being able to see what you're doing. Like that's kind of like the crucial part of platforming.
You went into that level later.
I must have, because I can't see what I'm doing at all, and I'm just firing on blindly. I think it was dark.
Yeah, it was. There are nightmare effects that happen to the levels that affect the levels, kind of like what X did, but they took what X did and said, "How can we make this bad?"
Yeah, how can we make this dumb?
So that's what you were experiencing there.
Yeah, some stages affect later stages. Like the website I used said to do the stage with the acid rain first. Or no.
Oh, early on though.
No, I told you to do the commander's stage first. You were talking about the turtle stages. Again, it's just getting all looped around because none of it matters.
Back on like the boss thing is usually in a Mega Man game, you have their weakness, you do it to the boss, fight's over, the fight's nothing. This game, almost none of the weapons felt like that until near the end of the game where I was able to do better with it when I did the refight, but that's partly because I had 2 E-tanks and had full heart tanks, so nothing, I was like, fuck, you can't kill me anyway. But it shouldn't be like that. Usually in a Mega Man game, you have the weakness, it's just boom, boom, they're done, you can move on. And this game it didn't feel like that for the most part. So maybe I played badly, but I had a really hard time. I only played as X in this game too, because I like X.
You can't switch over.
You can.
You shouldn't switch over is what I mean. Because, okay, so there is a way to unlock Zero in the game. You have to find a separate exit in one of the levels, and that gives you one of 3 bosses. I think the first time is Zero, the second time is High Max, and then every time you beat a stage's alternate exit, you get Dynamo from X5. Never actually permanently dies, but he never appears in another X game as far as I'm aware, so whatever happened to him. But none of the pickups that you get as X carry over to Zero. So if you unlock him or don't use him as soon as you unlock him, he's going to have the normal start of the game health bar. He's not going to have any parts to him, and you haven't ranked him up, so he's not going to be able to put any parts on. And he's just useless.
Yep.
Yes.
And the heart tanks are only there once. Like there's only 8 heart tanks, correct? So once you pick them up as X, they don't come back for
less. I don't remember.
There's a heart tank per level, but I think some of the Reploids that you can rescue also have life ups.
Yeah, they have life ups, there's also a expendable item that's a life up too you can get and use. Which is
the full recovered, that went on instantly.
Yeah, I did not because I wasn't smart enough apparently. But there's that. But no, to go on to what you're saying, Bill, to the acid rain part, I did that level too where it was dark as hell because I activated the nightmare effects and I was redoing all the levels. That was annoying as hell. I mean, it had save states, but it was still, you were right, like you can't see what you're doing. And you're jumping over a pool of acid where you'll die instantly and you have to go on moving blocks and you can't see the blocks because the game decided to darken the screen.
Yeah, because that's fun. That's so much fun. Yeah, fun. In a platforming game that requires you to be accurate and not have see. And I've said this before. When I was singing the praises of Mario 3 on this very program, saying how Mario 3 and like you said, Phoebe, we figured this out. Like this has all been worked out before. Like the joy of platforming is having just enough information to make a good decision, and when you fail, it's because you just didn't make the decision fast enough, which is why it feels earned. Like when in Mario, if you fail, it's like I missed that. When a game doesn't give you enough information to make the right decision first, that's when it feels cheap. Mm-hmm. This game is full of cheap. It is constant annoyance. I think it was just so frustrating to me.
It was. And to speak to the boss thing, there's another boss that I forgot because I'm watching a speedrun, so it jogged my memory. The giant turtle guy, his weakness is ice. When you hit him with ice, if he still has his shell, it doesn't hurt him. It just, you have to hit the two green things to break the shell or damage the shell enough, which then refills, by the way. He recharges it. And then you can hit him with the ice attack, and it freezes him and does some damage, but you'll use up the whole ice thing, not miss a beat, and he still won't die. And that also is when in a Mega Man game, if I have your weakness, it should take me. If I use it the full bar, you should be dead. Not I hit every time and you're still alive. I don't. Okay,
I can do you one better.
Okay.
A Mega Man game, no matter what character you're playing as, the weakness should be consistent.
Yes.
When you do the high max battle with X, you use the Buster to stun him, and then you hit him with a boss weapon or a Giga attack or whatever you want. If you fight him as Zero, you flip that. You hit him with the boss weapon to stun him. Then you slash him with the normal sword.
What?
It's not good. It's not good. It's arbitrary. That's what's annoying. It's just arbitrary. And that's it's not purposeful. None of these things are good or add anything to the experience.
High max is ridiculously hard too.
Yeah, it's obnoxious. And again, I'm playing it again with baby mode on, and I'm like, I can't imagine anybody attempting this legit. Gate is another one too. Oh, that's the one I'm thinking of is Gate. Oh, is that the one who does the giant fireball, like the giant energy thing, and it takes up a quarter of the screen?
You mean like the red attack that destroys the platforms that you're on, and you have to jump around? That's Gate. He's the guy that looks like Mega Man, sort of.
Okay, yeah. That guy was just fast and hard to hit, and yeah,
you can't hit him with anything except for his own attacks.
Yes, that's it. That was it. Oof. So I just kept jamming.
Great game design.
Hoping to register some damage. I didn't figure that part out.
Also, very few enemies I felt like drop health pickup because this game is very big about you rescue people and that's how you get health pickups and stuff and get items and all sorts of whatever the random shit this game does.
Right. Why would you empower your player and give them little gamer treats for doing good things?
Like every other Mega Man game
like every other Mega Man. X5 is stingy with them too. X6, I don't think I could tell you what they look like. I never got a damn pickup.
I know there are two of them in the hatch room.
Yeah, you're right. Right after playing Mega Man X6, I busted out Mega Man 2 because I'm like, I need to get the taste out of my mouth. And it's like, because Mega Man 2 is great. And Mega Man 2, all sorts of pickups all day. Anytime you kill 3 things, you get something, even if you don't need it. It's wonderful. It's gamer treats. We need delicious treats in order to stay engaged in our games. And Mega Man X6, again, it's that annoying little brother who steals your Halloween candy. Can I have the Halloween candy? I had it last year. No. Here's a roll of Smarties for you. Have fun. What about my peanut butter cups? You don't get peanut butter cups this year. I'm eating all the peanut butter cups.
I like Smarties.
I actually like Smarties too. Let's do candy corn. Here's the candy corn. No one should like candy.
Yeah,
candy
or
good.
Circus peanuts. Ugh.
Can't stand that circus. I don't want to go to that circus. I don't go to any circus, by the way. That's a not to get off the topic, but circuses are a thing that we don't need anymore. Can we all disagree? We don't need circuses.
We don't need them anymore. I mean, I forget they're even around. I haven't been to one in years, and I don't even see advertisements for it. I'm too busy getting advertisements for Monopoly Go right now on Facebook. I don't even play it. I was just talking about it with a friend of mine, and all of a sudden now they're like, "Hey, you want Monopoly Go?" I'm like, "No, I do not." Have some more ads.
Anyway, sorry to get off topic there, but yeah, it's just again, this game is circus peanuts.
At least it has a pretty decent soundtrack.
Yes, the music's good. The music is good. I mean, yeah, the music's good for the most part.
I'm guessing Mike turned off the sound.
I didn't have the volume on. What do I need to hear this shit for?
Hey, don't worry. I put on OC Remix while I played this game, so you're fine.
I also play with save states, and I was constantly saving and loading because I was dying a lot. But I didn't play with sound. I played this on the Steam Deck. Once in a while, the sound would be on, but I'm not a big sound guy in general, especially not for Mega Man.
I apologize. There seems to be a train behind me.
And X, I'm a sucker for that music, but music is always for me time and place of the game. If it was a childhood game, then I'm into music. If it's not childhood, then I don't give a shit. It's unfortunate, but that's me.
Still baffles me, but you know what?
Me too.
You play games.
I'm baffled by it too. I mean, yeah, I don't get it.
Speaking of stages and being annoying, what was everyone's least favorite main stage? We can't say favorite. What What was least favorite for? I have a very clear winner for that one.
I also have a very clear winner.
The garbage one. I didn't like the garbage compactor one at all.
That's
my
high up
least
there.
favorite. That's my least favorite. The stupid garbage compactor.
I didn't like most of the levels, to be honest.
The ice level.
Yeah.
Oh, ice level's annoying too.
So here's the fun part. If you do, because like we said earlier, you can do stages in a certain order, and hazards will kind of carry over depending on the order that you do them in. Imagine doing the section of the ice level where it's kind of like Tetris-y and the blocks falling down.
Oh,
While fireballs are also raining down from the sky.
Yep. 'Cause that's one of the nightmare effects you get.
no.
Oh, it's garbage. It's like you're avoiding two
That-
Tetris blocks at the same time.
That is so annoying.
The nightmare stuff is... I also don't understand the point of the nightmare. Like, the whole story is something to do with Nightmare Zero, and these people are trying to kill the nightmares. Like, I didn't understand what the fuck was going on.
Okay, so this plot is somewhat nonsensical, but I can put it in an easy way if it helps.
Please do, because I checked.
Okay, so every Reploid in the world has quote-unquote DNA. What that means is it's just your most base code. What you're like, your likes, dislikes, all that type of stuff. When Zero quote-unquote died during the Eurasia, or whatever the hell the satellite is called, event in Megaman X5, Gate, who was a colleague of Elias at the time, went to the crash site to see if there were any survivors to experiment, etc., etc. He found a piece of Zero. Somehow, never really explained, turned him evil. Could be the Zero virus, could be Sigma hijacking that tiny little piece of Zero. Who cares? But with Zero's quote-unquote DNA, he made all these Reploids that mess with people's optics and audio sensors, and that's all of the nightmare monsters. So when you have the nightmare effects, if a human went there, they probably wouldn't actually see any difference to the area, because it's all in a Reploid's head. But he was with Sigma talking into his ear, I'm guessing. It's, we need to make Reploids the #1 race on the planet, but only the strongest can survive. So I've made this nightmare scenario where all the weak Reploids will go away. And he's got this buddy named Isaac, stupid name, hanging out on the side. They create 8 robots together, and they pretend that they're enemy factions with one another, but it's mostly the same goal. It's a diversion tactic. That's pretty much the whole plot.
You put that as plainly as possible, and I still have very little comprehension. It's you never. I don't know if you've ever done like creative writing, but sometimes you just throw ideas on the board, or you get a bunch of people together, and hey, we're just going to word cloud, right? You just throw things on the board, and when you do that, you're supposed to look at that board and take things off. They didn't take anything off. They just they left everything on the board. It's like no, because I know you don't have time to pull the things off the board, but they left everything on the board.
Should we make our own villain? Oh yeah, check. But should we keep Sigma? Oh yeah, fuck yeah. Who cares? Should we put stage hazards? Oh yeah, sure. You know what? Let's make it even better. Stage hazards will carry over from stage to stage. What about boss weapons? We don't need them as much.
And also, let's do a level where all you fight are mini bosses, like 5 times the same guy.
We're not going to talk about that stage.
Me
Oh
too.
my god, the elevator shaft version of that fight is so stupid.
Well, especially when you're like me, who doesn't use Mega Man weapons and only uses the Buster or the Z-Saber. That fight is really long.
It's also impossible to hit him 90% of the time.
You can do it with lots and lots of save states, by the way. I have never done that, unfortunately, but you can. It wasn't
the Blaze Heat
when I
mix?
realized just use certain charge attacks will just hit all 4 things if you have them on the screen. Just kill them really quick, and that's what I started doing on my replay.
Okay.
But the first time, I did not do that, and it was miserable.
You replayed this game? Like you did this a second time?
To get all the heart tanks, to get all the items, because every Mega Man game the same way. I beat all 8 bosses in a row. I grab heart tanks if I see them. I grab armor upgrade. Then I go through again and get all the stuff that I missed. So I played almost every level twice.
I had to backtrack too. I thought you did like a second run.
I
boy.
beat this game Monday last week, and I just felt so relieved. Like, it was weird. Like, I was like, it's done. I don't have to play it ever again. So
This is my second time through this game.
my condolences.
You are the reason why.
That's why also my condolences. I get it.
Another stage that really drove me up the wall was, again, the only reason I know the name is because I'm staring at it. Ground Skarovich is the one where you have like the teleporters where you teleport to different parts of a stage. And the thing with that one to get the armor is you have to teleport to the right part of the stage. But if the game doesn't present you with the right part, because it's kind of random, you get to do it all over again. And that was the level that broke me. I was playing it legit until I hit that, and I was like, that's it for me.
Every stage needs to be done at least 2, maybe even 3 times.
Yeah, it's obscene. Not great.
Spent an hour doing that part, watching something on TV, like Pawn Stars in the background, and I just kept doing that part over and over again until I finally got the right where it loaded that room.
It's just frustrating and annoying.
And you need that armor piece to get the full armor, and you need the full armor to get the other armor and to get some of the heart paint.
Yes, you have to. So it's required. That friction is just required. And just imagine not having a guide and just doing this game 100% blind and then trying to tackle those last challenges and those last areas without any sort of special armor or anything. Good. God save those who played this game as children.
The level that Phoebe was talking about earlier, we have all the spikes in the wall. I could not do that level without using the spike climbing armor.
Oh, yeah, no. The shadow armor was the only way to do that.
And that shadow armor is also useless because you give away all your weapons. You can't use anything but the Buster and the X-Saber, which for some reason X has because he took it from Zero when Zero died, I guess. But and that's when it has the worst fight. I want to say one of the worst Mega Man fights I have done in my career of Mega Man throughout the podcast. The Purple Devil is terrible.
Yeah, the Mother Nightmare is normally one of the worst parts of the game, which is funny because I had no problem with it this time.
I give you props. I
think all the trauma was still ingrained in me after a decade or two that was like, no, you will not beat me this time.
With save states, it took me 2 E-tanks to get through that fight. And this is me redoing parts when things don't work out well, and I was still struggling with that fight. That just kind of, it was so bad.
It's the Mother Nightmare was, I never like in Mega Man. I don't know if I can't remember if this one had a specific thing like this. When you have to fight the room, I don't like fighting rooms. I want to fight things that move. I think Nightmare Mother King is the closest we get to fighting a room. Like, for example, I was playing Mega Man 2. Mega Man 2 is wonderful, but it's got its frustrating parts too. Yes. There's that one part where you literally have to take out these 7 little sensors. And the only way you can do that is with the crash bomb. Uh-huh. And you have very few crash bombs available. So if you mess up the order, you die. Game over. Enough. You game over, and you have to do it in the right sequence. And the thing is constantly zapping you. Fighting rooms is never fun, and this is just a moving room. And
it's 2 bosses that are so big, and their pattern is completely random. Normally, a Mega Man game, you can figure out the pattern. The majority of these bosses, I would say, there is a pattern that you could follow to dodge the attack. That's what it is. It's trial and memorization. It's going clockwise, and then for one time, it'll switch. You have no idea. It doesn't give any tell, no sound effect, no nothing. That's awful game design.
Yes.
And just to kind of really put a fine point on the Nightmare Mother, I did a quick Google search to remind myself of what that looked like. The second link is from the website Atrocious Gameplay Wiki. Nightmare Mother, Megaman X6, Atrocious Gameplay Wiki. Let's see what they have to say about this. Clearly, this is a known heinous thing.
Mm-hmm. Another small complaint, but again, a complaint. When you select a level, you don't even see the name of the boss. When you select a level, you just see the name of the place that he's at. I don't give a shit he's at the Central Museum. What's the name of the boss?
Yeah, if you're using a guide, the guy normally tells you what bosses you want to go through.
I know I had to use a different guide to find out the name of the areas.
Yes, same. X5 does the same thing where it doesn't tell you the names of the areas. It's just the boss to be like, where's the correlation between, I don't know, Axl Rose and whatever. Yeah, it's the same thing in this one.
Right, they're all Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, Nightmare Mother, it's fun. This website is actually pretty great. Atrociousgameplay.Murasaki.org. Hope I'm not getting, a virus or something. So explains very briefly what it is. Nightmare Mother is infamous among fans of the X series for being one of the, if not the hardest boss in not just X6, but the entire X series as a whole. And then there's a series of 11 bullet points of why it sucks. Why it sucks. And then I'm not going to read all of these bullet points, but the person who wrote this is very accurate.
Oh! Bill, I have a question for you.
Yes,
You also played on the Legacy Collection.
I did.
Which platform did you play it on?
Which?
Okay. Did you have the problem with Gate where whenever he uses his he summons portals or orbs, whatever you want to call them, and you have to split them. The red ones, when he uses those, did your frame rate just drop?
I don't remember.
Okay, because playing it today, every time this one attack, the frame rate dropped to about 5 frames per second and was eating my frames, and that was the majority of my deaths.
Oh, that's terrible.
That sounds horrendous.
That's a hard fight, too.
Oh, it's so bad.
That is not an easy fight. I mean, it's like right by the end of the game. I mean, it should be the final fight of this game since Gate is the whole like main villain and talking all the crap and like, oh, I'm gonna, and he's but again, it had to be Sigma because, Megaman X.
You beat Gate and he goes, oh yeah, I rebuild Sigma. And Sigma's like, I don't need you, laser.
Yeah.
So, it's such a cop-out.
I get it. Like, it's just one of those normal things, but it would have been nice if there was no Sigma for a change.
Although I gotta say, I did think again, this game does have has some neat things in there. There are some positives here. We're just kind of destroying it, but there are a few positives. I really liked shambling zombie Sigma before the main giant head. I really did like shambling zombie Sigma. That was actually really cool and good. I like that quite a bit.
I love that his text deteriorates because not only is he not a fully completed body yet, but he got so thin spread from X5 that he's kind of still reworking his code. So he's just deteriorating more and more in front of you internally. That's such a clever little thing.
It's good. It's good. I mean, again, the game has some really cool, like for example, I forget which stage it was, but there's a stage where I think I had a screenshot here somewhere. Bam, talking. So the Infinity Minjin stage, where it's that giant robot in the background that's zapping with the lasers while all the things are flying at you. I'm looking at it like, this is kind of cool, but why is this not fun? This is not fun. It's a cool concept. Giant robots shooting lasers. I'm here for that. That's fantastic. Oh, I can't avoid that laser blast. Oh, there's 5 little ducks flying at me that are going to crash into me. The entire screen is filled with hazards, and I, for some reason, put the weapon on that makes me constantly do a charge shot, even though it didn't tell me it was going to do that. And it's just infinitely harder because I can't just rapid fire shots.
Oh yeah, the game doesn't actually tell you what any of the parts
No, nothing. And again, it had that weird honeycomb matrix, and you could put things in different slots, and you don't know what they do. They just I'm going to throw this against the wall. Or you look it up online, or I don't even think the manual tells you. I have the manual right in front of me. Let me tell you. You guys chat amongst yourselves.
No. Man, I don't like games with manuals anymore. I mean, but I don't like when you require me to read a manual because, like, in this day and age, like, I don't have the manual.
I can add another thing that is really interesting, and I would even say good about this game.
Okay, I want to hear it.
Rare thing to say. I do like the idea that you don't have to beat all 8 final bosses or initial bosses to get to the final set of stages. There are 3 different ways that you can unlock the final stage, and it actually makes sense from a story point. Because again, the whole point of the game is the Zero Nightmare, trying to figure out what the Zero Nightmare is. Is Zero alive? What's going on? And so, yeah, sure, you could beat the 8 stages, beat all 8 bosses, get their weapons, and the game goes, well, you got enough information from them while you were defeating them that you know where their hideout is. You can beat their leader, High Max, who runs away in defeat and you chase him back to the headquarters. Or if you collect 3,000 souls, because the nightmare enemies drop souls, pretty much Alia and Douglas, I would say, because I haven't seen the cutscene, but my assumption is that they go, oh, we reverse engineered the nightmare and we figured out where it's hanging out. So at least it gives you options, and in a story point, it actually makes sense to give you options. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, I will. That was cool. I will agree with that and give the game that. It was a cool moment to have that.
Yeah, it's at the end of the day, it is Mega Man, which makes it so frustrating that it's not good Mega Man. I don't know why. First off, the manual does not explain any of the upgrades or whatever they do. There's no explanation. There's no explanation of what that grid means, how you upgrade, how you get more squares on the grid, because I think that's what the blue orbs do. The more blue orbs you get, the more squares.
They level you up, yes.
Yeah, there's no explanation of any of these things. There is a section for basic actions. Ready for this? I don't know why this tickles me so. Basic actions, Megaman X. And then there's another section for the resurrected hunter, because they don't want to say the word zero. They say the resurrected hunter, and in it says, if you meet certain conditions during gameplay, an unidentified expert hunter will appear. Most facts about him remain a mystery, although it's said he's a special A-class hunter. Guess what? Mystery revealed. Zero is the background of this page. I'm sending it to you right now. It's the background of the page. Look, I just sent it to you in slide. Yeah.
It's still, if you have the manual, can you real quick, how many times is the phrase A-ranked hunter or a variant of that used in the manual?
There's a lot of text in this manual and not many pictures, so I will have to.
Because if A-rank manual is supposed to be the A-rank hunter, when you get him, why does he start at D?
because A rank sounds cool and D ranked is reality. So and here, heroes. Zero. He's in the upper right-hand quadrant of the heroes section. Zero once headed up Zero Unit, a special A-class hunter. If you're reading this, mystery solved. Don't play the game. Just you read the manual. That's all you need.
That's stupid.
Do you believe he'll ever be found, even though he's here with his giant mane of ponytail hair?
In the manual, yes.
The manual. It's right there. It's all right there.
It's not even hard to get him. Certain requirements. Sure, there are alternate exits in every level, but there's a set order of what those exits go to, and it's always the very first one you go to is Zero.
Also, I fought him completely by accident because I hadn't looked up anything yet. I just walked into a room, or I went into the blue crystal because there was a blue crystal. I jumped into it and I just fought Zero, and that was a really hard fight, by the way. And I just found him. Like, I wasn't looking for him. So if I just find him randomly without looking for him, it means other people are going to also. Why is it? Yeah, I don't know.
And not for nothing, it seems like I'm being now picky just to be picky on this game.
No, it doesn't. We're being fair.
But one of the characters' name is Cygnus. He's the general dude. Names too close to Sigma. Sorry. Sigma. It kept confusing me. And if this game was better and more fun, I wouldn't care. And the only reason I'm bringing it up is because I notice it because I'm not having a good time. I'm grasping for things to enjoy. Okay. That's why these things pop out.
If you're going to say that, Mike, are you ever going to do command mission?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I just gotta finish.
Just remember what Bill said in the back of your head.
Okay. No, I know a decent amount about command mission. I actually have a copy of it to the right of me that I bought, 15 years ago with the I wanted to play it. Still waiting on that. But so no, I'm that's a game that I'm really excited for. Someday.
You'll be happy. Sigma is nowhere in it.
That makes me happy. I'm just tired of him. I mean, I get it, you know.
You will also like X8.
There's no
really?
I can say that much, and I will say no more.
Okay. I'm. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna end up playing both of them, unfortunately. But yes, they're not on the. They're not on the season. I can tell you that much. There is no X. You will not hear me talk about an X game for a while. So
this one just burnt you out, huh?
Nah, it wasn't that. I'm kind of like, I have other things that I want to do that didn't include Mega Man. So that's all. But no, this game. Now that I played it, yes, I have no interest.
On page 11, in the section says game screen, life energy gauge, remaining characters, buff. Ayla's message. Alia gives you support messages at certain points in the game. Hey, manual, how do I access said messages? Nope. Tough luck. Just look at that exhibition point.
Is there a control page in the manual that says it?
Basic actions. Z-Saber, special weapon, no. Megaman X and the Hunter. Rope hold, no.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Just no. Hang on. Wait. Controller default, maybe. Hang on.
Oh.
Hang on. Nope. Right analog stick, not used.
Brilliant.
Isn't that how you do it?
Then it has to be the select button, and they just made it R3 on the or on the Legacy Collection because there's no select button on a PlayStation 4 controller.
Select button. Access quick game screen from weapon select screen. Not a single mention of how to access that. You can do it, but you can't play it. See, this is what we're talking about when we say rushed. Horribly, terribly rushed. Even the manual.
Oh, this game was 100% rushed. There is no question that Capcom just forced people to be like, "Hey, we got these assets. We're still making money off PS1. Just get this out. We don't care." You can feel that all the way through, and that sucks. Also, I don't know if this is something we hadn't mentioned yet, but PS1 does not do 2D as well as other systems do. Like Dreamcast was the one that was, or Sega Saturn, for example, was at the time was really good at doing 2D stuff. PS1 was not made for it. That plays a part in this too, in general. That's why I have like the 3D, 2D graphics.
Well, I felt like it also was very distracting. The backgrounds are very busy because again, it's trying to do so much stuff in the level where it's the trash compactors like this and the portal level. And there's one other. The backgrounds are so busy you can't see your character against the background because everything is the same color temperature, if that makes sense. Like there's no sense of depth. Like if there's a mountain in the background, it's not a mountain in the background, it's right there on the screen. So everything looks like a matte painting almost, where it's all the same color temperature. There's nothing like faded. It seems like there's no depth. So everything is clashing with your character. Oh, I can't even see this game. Hey, annoying game who doesn't want me to play it and enjoy it and have a good time. I at least see my character.
No, of course not.
No, of course not.
You're not allowed to enjoy this game.
No fun things for you.
Now that I played this, and like people are always like, "Oh, X5 is the beginning of the decline." I'm like, no, X5 was great compared to this. Like as Bill said earlier, like X5, I had fun with X5. I did not have fun with X6. When I beat it, I was so relieved to have it done. And like, I mean, I always get relieved in this when I finish games for this podcast just because of the nature of what I do and just the way I am with game. But this was a game where I was like, I am so happy I don't ever have to play this again.
Oh
yeah. I think one of the scariest things is, Mike, you watch speedruns for all these different games, and you've played, or you've done an episode for X4 and X5.
Yes.
Zero has a very memorable thing in his speedrun called the SDC, or the /dash cancel, where you just rapidly hit the dash and the slash button back and forth. That is completely useless in this game.
What is in this game?
How do you break one of his most important things?
Well, you don't need it in this game, because you have the other glitch with that shield ability you get from one of the bosses. That's what speedrunners do. They play as Zero mostly, and they use the ability where every frame that the sword touches an enemy while the shield is touching the enemy hurts the boss.
Oh, seriously?
That's what they do. They jump on the boss, line it up, hit him with the Z-Saber, they cancel it when it gets past the shield and do it again. And that's how you just murder bosses like they're made out of butter. It is ridiculous what they do.
Yeah.
I mean, but you can only do it with Zero, so you have to use Zero. I don't use Zero, so it wasn't a thing.
God.
That's how they beat that terrible Purple Devil boss, is by doing that too. They just wait until the part comes out and they just destroy everything with this glitch. So, but again, if you don't use Zero was not powered up for me. Zero was useless, not to mention the fact that spike thing, I mean, Zero has a double jump, sure, but he didn't have any health for me, so I'm like, this won't work very well, because I didn't use him. Oh yeah, Zero can double jump where X can't, but X has the armors.
And by the way, again, this is the last time I'll mention the manual. It's the last time. I promise.
No, this is great.
Because it's baffling to me. I am paying attention to the conversation. I promise. So in Mega Man, I think X4 was probably the first time where you get the large complete life energy pickup. It's not just the small and the medium. There is a supersized version that fills everything.
Yep.
In this manual, it says it's there. I did not encounter a single full life energy in this entire game. I call shenanigans on this manual. There's no way. They just reprinted this page from X5.
Wouldn't be surprised. There's so many cut corners.
And in the same item section, it tells you what all injured Reploids, EX item, Nightmare Souls, which shows little blobs after you fight those little things. These appear when you defeat a nightmare. By acquiring one of these items, you earn points and increase your hunter rank. Guess what? They don't show you what it looks like. No picture. It just says Nightmare Souls exist. No picture of it. No, it's just, again.
It at least says when you defeat a nightmare, to be fair.
Yeah, but how do you know what a nightmare is? There's no picture of the nightmare. What's a
that's
nightmare?
Awful.
I didn't know what the nightmare stuff was going on. Like, I didn't understand the point of grabbing the blue orbs until a speedrunner told me by grabbing the blue orbs, you level up.
I would say, Alia tells you what a nightmare looks like, or says, hey, X, that's a nightmare. But the manual, like you said, doesn't tell you what button to press to talk to her.
It's just beyond the pale. There's an advertisement for Capcom.com. Some better games that are here listed: Breath of Fire 4, Resident Evil Nemesis. I've never played Resident Evil Nemesis. Is that any good?
As a guy who doesn't like horror games, it's a good game.
It's not the third Resident Evil game, but it is a good game.
Mega Man Legends 2.
Good game.
Good game.
Street Fighter EX. Street Fighter 3 EX. I'm sorry. Street Fighter 3 EX.
Yeah, that's one of the 3D ones. We don't talk about 3D ones.
They didn't do well.
Onimusha, is that any good?
I like Onimusha. It's Resident Evil meets Samurai, but more action heavy. I actually did it on the show a long time, a year or 2 years ago. It's a decent game. I'm doing 2. I'm actually about to play 2 next.
Dino Crisis 2?
I haven't played it, but Dino Crisis 1 is a masterpiece that they should remake.
All right.
Yes,
I found a Dino Crisis fan, apparently. All right.
Oh, that's actually really good. And then Tron Bond. Has anyone heard of this thing?
Yeah, it's the Mega Man Legends spinoff.
Yep.
Okay. All of these things better. Guaranteed better. So if you are thinking about playing this game, just look at the manual. Look at page 23. And all those games preferred over this particular.
Here's the best part. You already bought the game that you're reading the manual for at the time that you're reading.
Excellent point.
So you're already stuck with this game.
That's right.
And if you're a kid and it's in 2001, you ain't getting another game.
Nope.
Anytime soon.
Nope. You have a year of this beating your head against the wall.
Mm-hmm.
The armors are cool. I think the armors all look really good. I think Mega Man X armor is always very cool. I didn't get Ultimate, so I'm curious.
I am just so upset that it's locked behind the code, because I like getting the ultimate armor in every X game. Like, I go out of my way to do everything to get whatever the special ability is, and the fact that it's locked to a code really upsets me, because I didn't know about that until I literally was already midway into the game and beat 6 bosses. I'm like, well, I'm not doing this over again.
Mega Man X armor always looks good. The sprite work looks good. The animations are good. Graphically, it's fine.
Game's pretty.
It's a pretty game, sure. Lots of things exploding. Can't see what you're doing, but it's exploding at least. So fine. Yeah.
It's just the same Ultimate armor from 4. It's colored black, and I think the arms and legs are teal, but that's it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And the shadow armor gives you a Castlevania jump where you can rocket up to the ceiling, it felt like. I mean, you don't completely rocket up to the ceiling, but you can get higher. Also, one thing bothers me because we played so many X games, how many freaking capsules did Dr. Light make for the end of the world? My God. I know. I'm just
I was going to say, that could be its own conversation.
Yeah, I know. I just think about that every time. You think he'd run it, come up with a new idea. But it's Mega Man, so I get it.
That would require us to talk about lore, which in Mega Man, I'm sure people love Mega Man lore. I mean, there's fans of everything. I don't understand it. I don't.
There's a comic book that covers all this stuff too. That the Archie comics that had a long run with Mega Man. Me and Mike a long ass time ago did the first arc of that. It wasn't bad.
And doesn't Mega Man Legends have a decent story? Isn't people love that game now? Right? Yeah.
And it's really still attached to this timeline.
It is.
Oh, is it? Oh,
yeah, it's 7,000 years after the ZX series.
Okay.
This game takes place 3 weeks after the events of Mega Man X5. And boy, does it feel like it was designed in that amount of time. That's the y'all had less than a month to slap this bad boy together.
It really feels like we just had to make a game and we had the assets and here we go. We just need money.
But they were making a game. They were making a Zero game on the Game Boy Advance.
I have not played those yet, but I've seen them and I want to.
We shall complete the cycle at some point.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm working on it. It's happening. It's gonna be. I'm getting there. I'm just not moving as fast as I was. But I'll probably. I was gonna say I'll probably knock it out next year, but probably not, just because I'm kind of. I don't want to play the other games that are left. So hey, but at least now I own them on Steam because they were on sale for $10 or whatever it was.
Oh, yeah.
I'm fine. I'll just buy both collections.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
Now you're prepared for X7 and X8.
I was already prepared. I have emulation.
I hear they're better.
I've heard X7 is the worst one, and yet past roommate, that is his favorite X game. So we'll see.
Did he not play any other games in his whole life then?
I have no idea.
That's what I'm asking there.
It's between Pinochle and Mega Man X7.
I might go with Cribbage instead. In that case. We'll just go Cribbage. It'll probably be more fun. Cribbage is fun, man. I used to love playing Cribbage with a bunch of older people at my old job.
Sure, I was gonna say.
That's what I did. I played Cribbage with the seniors when my work was slow. I could hear my phone from where I was, so I would play Cribbage with them unless my phone rang, and then I'd get up and run to go answer the phone, and I go back to play Cribbage.
Wait, is that the one that also has a little racetrack to it?
Yes.
Oh, I used to know how to play that game. I actually enjoyed it.
It's a fun game. They taught me how to play it, but so Cribbage is a fun game. I recommend it. You know what? Cribbage is more fun than this game was. So, one of the armor pieces was like ridiculously hard too, where you had to I had to do some I had to equip a booster because you get items in this game. We briefly have mentioned that you can equip to make your character a little bit better, and you had to equip a speed booster to make a jump for one of the armor pieces.
There are a few of those in the game.
Yeah, there's
kind of
really
scary
hard
to say.
I don't like that. That's a personal thing. It just bothered me. Yeah, anything else, or should we go on to that you guys want to mention? Oh, there's an ending to this game. I don't know what the hell.
I couldn't tell you. A song played and I turned it off.
Turn off the game.
They brought Gates' body out of the wreckage.
Okay,
I can tell you that Zero's ending is different and very hilarious.
Okay.
Because the Zero ending has, I don't remember what the actual reason why they do it is, but the ending of the Zero ending is, we're going to put you in a capsule for 100 years, 102 years, something like that. It's very much, we screwed up. The X5 should have led into Zero, and yet we made an X6. Let's just make it so that way X6 leads into Zero. But let's make an X7.
Okay. I was going to say, Zero's an X7, I know that. And 8, I'm assuming.
They just keep retconning what they want to do.
That makes it clear and understandable and logical.
Yeah.
Because the Zero in the Zero games, that's the same Zero as this game then, right? Technically. If he's in a capsule, I mean, it's got to be the same Zero. Why you don't...
Yeah.
Assuming.
Yeah.
I've just seen the Zero games. I've seen the way they look, and they look cool, but I've never touched them.
Yeah. And there is an explanation to why Zero looks different in the Zero games than in the X games. That will be a whole story for a whole nother day.
Works for me. Oh, but to kind of go on what Bill said earlier, or a while ago, I did like Zombie Sigma, where he just lumbering towards you but can't do anything. It was kind of cool. In the red cloak.
Yep.
I did like that. I didn't like his final phase, though. His final phase was annoying.
Having to wait for the mouth to open?
Yeah. I don't know. I had a hard time with it.
It wasn't hard. It was just annoying and time-consuming. It's just, again, annoying.
At least he summons all those ectoplasm enemies that drop items so you can refill your health to max.
Oh, I didn't know they did.
Yeah, they actually drop items.
So few things in this game drop items, which is a weird thing to say in a Mega Man game.
I think it's the most I ever saw items get dropped by enemies was during the final phase of Sigma.
You don't get a lot of items in this game. You really don't.
It's
and this game loves spikes, too, I felt. I felt this game liked spikes more than other Mega Man games do.
Spikes and pits. Again, just give us the power to move the camera if you're going to have this type of game design.
That'd be too easy. You gotta make this game hard and stupid. Okay, I think that's everything I want to say about this. Let's go on to questions, comments, and memories. I got a few. So let's see, starting, because I posted in a bunch of groups. I watched the entire Blood Super replay from Dominic Chikoki, friend of the show. Is this the British Mega Man? Why else would it take place in Essex? I don't get that joke.
Okay, fair.
From Sebastian Games, I hid myself to repair myself. Making fun of Zero. I think that's what he said or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, basically. Yep. Basically, pretty accurate.
And then from the official Laser Time community, from Derek Schmerich, it was nice to have more of the PSMF Megaman X action. However, there were some needlessly difficult and annoying aspects. Some of the levels, even having RNG to get some of the power-ups, if I remember right. I enjoyed this more when I was younger. I tried this again with the Megaman X collection recently, and while it was frustrating moments, I was able to complete it. Megaman X7, however.
It's funny. I've heard people say it's better, but now I'm now no longer.
Oh no, it's not a 2D game, by the way. If you never looked it up, it's not 2D.
Wait, what?
Look it up,
it's like full maneuvering.
Yes.
Like in a 3D space?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh no.
Don't worry, X8 goes back.
Oh no. Why would
Also, the other
mistake?
One of the other jokes about X7 that a friend of the show, Blair, likes to mention or make a joke about is how much X will be like, X is a pacifist all of a sudden now too. So where every time he shoots, he completely gets upset.
Oh my god.
Or something like that. It's a completely different game in 3D. It just looks weird as hell.
I just know burn to the ground, burn to the ground, burn to the ground.
Yeah.
What is going on? I'm looking at screenshots. Why is he shooting into the background? What's happening? No.
When you have to add a lock-on system to an X game, you know you have fucked up royally.
Oh,
and it's the only game like that. They were like, nope, this is a bad idea.
Don't do this. I'm like retroactively begging someone to not do this.
Mm-hmm. And I've been looking forward to trying it for years because it's different.
This can't be good. Oh no.
I've heard it's the worst game in the series by far. So,
oh.
yeah.
happening?
Bad games design.
I'm sorry. Now I'm just flabbergasted. My day is now ruined.
Okay, if it helps, I've been saying that a lot. Capcom was kinda in an area around that time. You could get an Onimusha, but you get Dino Crisis 3. They were very 50-50 around this era.
I've never played Dino Crisis 3. I've just heard terrible things about it. And I've seen it, but I've never played it. All right. And the only other comment I got from this group, from Nick Turner, I played this on the GameCube in the collection release there. I just couldn't get into any of them after 3. That's fair. They changed a lot after 3.
4 is, look, I know you said it, Phoebe. If MegaMan X wasn't so ingrained into my psyche as just a beloved thing, X4, you can make a strong argument, is better. Yeah. X4 is ridiculously good. So to that commenter, if you haven't played X4, it's actually phenomenal. Much better than 3, in my opinion. If I could look at it truly objectively, I'd probably say 4 might be a bit better, but boy, oh boy, I can't say it.
No, because 1 is up there. One of my,
perfect. It's almost perfect. But X4 is damn good. I had a blast.
1 and 4 are fantastic, except for the fight with General.
Well, yeah, I mean, none of them, yeah, I mean, look, but then 1 has that dumb spider thing. You got hit in the eye that you have literally 10 milliseconds to hit. So
that's right.
Nothing's perfect. Nothing's perfect. Nothing's perfect, but yeah, still great.
But some stuff is better.
All right.
All right. And I got 2 groups. I got a lot of comments, so I'm not going to be able to read all these, but I'll definitely read some. From the Mega Man universe, from Manuel Galvez. I find it become more fun on a second playthrough as you can see all the cheap tricks coming and prepare for them. Fair. Okay. From Zeta Jones, I enjoyed it as a kid and playing it now, like I can finally see the cracks that barely hold this serviceable game in the service. It's not as memorable as X4 and X5 was. The one thing I can't deny with X6, it have hella good soundtrack and a better armor than X5 did. Gale left a sour experience after having to collect all its pieces. I don't even remember what the Gale armor was.
Yeah, the armor's always cool. Again, the armors look really cool, and the soundtrack is fantastic. It's great. It's Mega Man soundtrack. I mean, it's just good. So yeah, I think that.
All right. From Exorna Lex, it's unironically ended up being my second favorite in the series, even though I expected to hate it. I know it's not as objectively good as some of the other titles, but something about it really clicked with me, and I'm glad that people enjoyed it.
Yeah, you are allowed to like bad things. That is perfectly acceptable. That is genuine. I mean that heartfelt. That you are allowed to like bad things. This is a bad thing, but I'm glad that someone found joy in it. That's great.
All right, from Ross Westney. While there are some moments that I cannot stand in this game, I had an overall good time with it. The extra armors were fun. Using Zero to collect the armor pieces were convenient as well. I still hate that fire level ring boss, however.
Yes, just the dumb ring, and it keeps showing up every 2 seconds. Another one.
That's the entire stage.
Literally the entire dumb stage.
That's the problem with it. Just too much of that.
Ugh.
Ooh, there is one nice thing that we can say about this game.
Yes.
Forgot about it. There's no motorcycle level, is there?
Oh, yeah, there's no auto-scroller.
I listened to my appearance on Reliving Retro where I go off on that dumb thing in X5 for probably at least 5 minutes. That is heinous. And I don't know if there's anything worse than that in this game. I don't think so. Maybe the falling ice, like you're saying, where the instant kill falling ice, but...
Was X5 the Stingray? Or is that 4?
Yeah, Stingray.
4.
Oh, it's 4 Stingray?
What was 5 with the auto-scroller? I remember a terrible auto-scroller in 5. I didn't hear what you said. I was talking over you.
Jet Stingray is 4. Duff McWhalen is 5.
Can you just based on that sentence alone, just based on those words, the divide in quality between X4 and X5.
And also, why Guns N' Roses? My God. I mean, I know the story. I know why they're named that, but like, that band is just, they had some good music, but that's all. I just can't get it. Okay. A couple more from Juan Carlos. My favorite PS1 Mega Man. I understand how many people hate it for being hard and the bad level design, but as a hard games enjoyer, I completely love this one.
Look, if you dig really challenging games, I could definitely see that if that's like your main metric, then boy, oh boy, this is right up your alley. For me, it's more unfair than challenging, but hey, I do that.
And from Christian Willija, here's the tip. Get guard shelled first from beating Shield Sheldon and spam its bug to easily kill all enemies and bosses, which is what all the speedrunners do.
Oh, okay. That's the strat, as they say. Okay.
Because when the blade is touching an enemy if it's touching both things in the same frame, it does a damage for every frame, and they don't have any iframe.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I mean, every Mega Man X game has some trick. Usually it's called SDC, where you sword cancel, which I tried. I could not pull it off with Zero. That's like kill every boss. Like they just melt them. But in this game, it's really simple. You just put the shield on, stand in front of the enemy, and just hit the attack button. That's it, and he's dead.
Interesting.
But you have to use Zero, so that's the problem.
Because you gotta get through it. Yeah. All right.
I mean, now you gotta get them, but you gotta use them. I got them. I didn't want to use them. I didn't do it. And from the last group, Mega Man fans, I'm going to read a couple from Andrew Smith. It's simple. I love the game. It's the one I find myself going back to play the most, not expecting anyone to understand why, and I don't have some grand reason why I do. I just do. Nothing wrong with that.
Love it. Love it. Some people like candy corn. It's okay. It's fine. You're allowed. Cool. You know, it's funny. I'm really glad that people like this game. You know, life is hard enough. Find your joy where you find it.
I'm always...
Yeah, I like that.
People enjoy a game. Yeah,
I did not. Out of the woodwork. That's pretty cool. I didn't expect that, but well, boy, you're not going to find them on this particular podcast. I assure you. So.
And from Eric Newman, when I was playing all the games in order when the Legacy X collection came out, I had to force myself to finish this one because it really is a nosedive in quality compared to the other two PS1 games. It feels more like a Kaizo hack than an official game. I would almost rather play one of the DOS Mega Man games than play Blaze Heatnik's level again.
Yeah, see that.
I've seen those. They're terrible.
The only thing that could have made this worse than a Kaizo is if they somehow adding invisible blocks to this game that if you hit your head on, you drop.
Or like a roguelike where you lose all your, you have to go back and collect your ability. Although I will say, speaking of roguelikes, I'm not a big roguelike person. I don't really like those games. But boy, oh boy, Vampire Survivors, that is cocaine in a video game. My lord.
To a degree.
Boy, oh boy. Oh no.
How far are you?
I finished my first 30-minute stretch in the first level. I did that last night. And then I said, I have to play Final Fantasy. I have podcasts to record.
You have officially started the game.
She's not wrong.
Oh, it's so good.
The achievement list is actively the checklist of everything that you can unlock.
I can't.
I was going for it, and that's kind of what broke me, because I got to the point where my whole goal was to make it past the 30 minutes, and then I kind of fell off.
Yeah, it's just glorious, but I can't.
Great game.
I have to play Final Fantasy games. Damn it! I have a podcast of my own.
Which one are you on right now?
5.
Okay,
it's pretty good.
You're on a good one.
I like 5. It's pretty good so far. So far, it's
a
good
game.
Hey,
I like 5.
If you're listening to this and you do want a Mega Man roguelike, 30XX I think just came out of early access.
I think so. Is it? I mean, 20XX is good, but it's too hard for me. That's why I just stopped playing it.
I know the second one has co-op in it. That might help.
Yeah. I mean, it won't help me with the pits. That was my problem.
Oh.
I kept falling in pits and dying. But all right, a couple others from Joshua Curtis. I really enjoyed the game, but it's one of the weaker titles. My biggest problem is how ugly Zero Saber is.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Fair. I don't remember it, but
I don't either. I didn't play Zero, so I didn't really see it.
Same. I don't. Yeah.
I mean, I'm watching a speedrun. They're playing Zero, but I didn't play Zero. From Ivan Hurtado. I really don't understand all the hate this game gets. It has its flaws, but I've always really enjoyed it. From Chris Gaines, I hate it, honestly. I've yet to finish it. One day I will force myself to finish it.
Life's too short, my friend. Life's too short. You don't. Yeah. Don't be a hero. It's fine.
Oh, here's a good one. From Golomir Mataso. I like it, and for me, X6 is better than the first 3 games.
Interesting.
Okay. Opinions. Hey, listen, okay. Hey, I'd like to know why. I would really genuinely, and if the answer really is like, I don't know, I just like it. Okay, that's fine. You're allowed to like, sausage more than pepperoni, but I would really like to know some objective, like, this is why. If it's just like, yeah, I like it, then yeah, all right, fine.
I'm assuming nostalgic or something for that reason. I mean, that's me. I mean, nostalgic plays such a big part in why people like certain games. I mean, it could be just likes this game. I mean, but I'm assuming it's nostalgic because
look, I've built a podcast of over 100 episodes right now based off of nostalgia. Okay, I understand the power, the power. But you're right. Totally right. Yeah.
And let me see here from Hugo Garrett. It's all fun, but did you resurrect Zero? I did by accident. All right. Let's see. I think I'm just gonna. Okay. From Juan Gomez, X6 is the shit. Greatest OST in the series, though.
I gotta listen to it. I didn't listen to the OST without divorced from the gameplay. So I won't comment on that, even though I just did.
All right, last one I'm gonna read.
OST.
I'm gonna read 2 more. From Zakurug Voorhees, X6 literally feels like 4. It's an amazing game filled with challenges and the best final bosses, in my opinion. All right. And from Pablo Alvarez, some people hate forgetting X7 exists. But I haven't played X7 yet. I just seen what it looks like.
X7 looks inexcusable. I'm sorry. Oh no, not this year. Not this year. Will you, Mike? Not this year.
No, it's not this year. I actually don't even have another Mega Man game on the schedule now until next year. I have 10 on the schedule at the moment. I'm kind of like a little bit just like, I've done a lot of Mega Man games.
Indeed.
There's so many. All right, let's go to Shelf Stacker Box, and I'll go first. I'm going to put this... I was torn between the stacker and the box, but the more we talk about it, it's going in the box. I mean, it had some moments that were kind of fun, but mostly I just wanted to get it over with, and I wasn't really enjoying myself. So, and I will probably never play this game again. I don't see a reason to go back to it. I'm glad I played it because one of my goals is to finish the X series, just because I like to play series where I feel like I should experience them. So I'm glad that I did, but I never need to play it again. And so it's going in the box, and I'm done. What about you, Bill?
This is soundly in the box. There was no debate on this one at all. I've said all the reasons, but it's just disappointing. The more they bolt onto the series, the worse it seems to get. And MegaMan X6 is just this annoying, obnoxious game that I mind very little fun out of it. And you said it perfectly, Mike. I wanted it to be over. I was just ready for this to be done and call it a day. So yeah, it's going to go in the box, and I likely will never play it again either.
And Phoebe.
Oh, this is 100% going in the box. It should have stayed in the box, but then you messaged me about it. At the very least, we can say that it has some good ideas in it, but too many of them at the same time completely diverge from what we know and love of the X series. Plus, just the awful game design. Some of the later bosses and their gimmicks are broken. If you really want to experience this game, just pull up the OST, or better yet, look up Maverick Rising on OC Remix and watch a speedrun of it. You're done. Oh, you think you're going to miss the plot? Don't worry. You're not missing anything.
If anyone goes into a Mega Man X game expecting a plot, you're playing the wrong game.
It's there, but boy, oh boy, I can't figure it out.
It's not what you're there for.
No, not at all.
I've beaten X. I mean, I played X so many times, I can't even tell you the whole point of it. It's Kill Sigma.
Matter.
Yeah.
Kill Sigma.
All right, and I should introduce what we're talking about next week. Next week, you can hear me talk about Phoenix Rising. Immortals Phoenix Rising. A open world game that tries to mimic Breath of the Wild, I think. I think that's what they're going for in that game. So you can listen to me talk about all about that at some point next week. And if you're still here, I do have a code to give away. A game that's actually probably decent. Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice. And this is a Steam code. The Steam code is RZ2G7Q0E4YYE. And that is the code for Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice on Steam. All right, I've had that code for a long time. And Bill, where can people find you at?
I can be found at a podcast entitled The Gamer Looks at 40. As I said earlier, it's just a nostalgia fest.
Yeah.
What can I say? It really is. At this point, I have a hard time describing this show multiple times, but I will do my best again. Yeah, it's just every mainline episode is either an interview with someone interesting in the world of video games or a collection of interviews around a certain game, theme, system, etc. By the time when is this coming out, Mr.
Next week Sunday.
Next week Sunday. I honestly don't know what's coming out next week Sunday. So if you want to be surprised, if you're listening to this late, the next series is going to be on Earthbound, and it's going to be 4 episodes, y'all. It's going to be a month of freaking Earthbound. Hey, you Earthbound fans, you love Earthbound. Boy, oh boy, do y'all talk about it a lot. It's going to be 4 episodes, I think. And then right from there, we're going to go right into Final Fantasy for the next probably 4 months after that. So lots of fun things. If you dig Earthbound and Final Fantasy, that's the show for you. Anything else, I don't know.
So when is Kingdom Hearts?
Kingdom Hearts is never going to happen because...
You know you're missing out, man. You're not going to believe me, but you're missing out.
I don't think I am. I don't... People love Kingdom Hearts. I can't understand why you'd want to play an RPG with Disney characters. I don't know. I don't know. People love Kingdom Hearts. I don't want to get canceled over that.
I've never played. I have bought 2 separate consoles specifically for Kingdom Hearts.
I don't understand.
But you need I've been going through it on the show, and I actually have the rest. We're next year. 2024, we're wrapping up the series, at least up to 3. We're going to get through all the side shit and do 3, but it's because I've had 2 people who love the series that are leading my hand as I go through the series and explaining to me what the hell is happening.
They're doing a good job.
I don't know. Again, Kingdom Hearts, and I guess after Final Fantasy, the next big series will likely be Metroid, because that's a near and dear series to my heart.
Same.
I love Metroid. So my show cannot end until Metroid is done, and then I'm like, I don't know, what else am I gonna do in my life? Maybe something else. But yeah, Metroid has to happen because that's a series again near and dear to my heart. Whatever. That'll be like next year though, so don't worry about it.
I'm the same way. I plan out way too far in advance too, so I completely get it. But I make too much episodes. All right, and Phoebe, where can people find you at?
Hi, I'm the Let's Play Princess. You can find me on YouTube and the Twitch underneath the same name. I'm also on Twitter, because screw you, Elon, under the LP Princess. And finally, you can find me on some of your local nerd podcasts, like with these two lovely gentlemen.
God, I'm just keep waiting until it goes back. Like the X name is so stupid. I hate it.
Everything he does has an X in it now.
Because he's a fucking idiot.
I'm telling you, he's not Xehanort.
All right. And if you enjoyed this episode, there's a bunch of other Mega Man episodes that we've done. Just go on Podbean. You can just type in Mega Man, type in Star Wars, type in whatever you want. It might come up. We've done lots. There's over 500 other episodes of this podcast. We've done movies, comics, TV shows, whatever I convince people to talk about with me. So go look and see what you find. You never know what's going to be. And depending on when you hear this, I don't know what the hell's going to be the catalog either at that time. So definitely go check it out. If you want to support the show, we do a Patreon for Little Dog. You vote in our Patreon poll. The current poll is horror movies that Mike has never seen. So go vote for $1. You can help affect what happens on the show. And I want to give a shout out to my awesome intro and outro courtesy of Helena at Hell Has Free. You can follow her on TikTok. You'll see a link in the show notes to her TikTok, or at least see your name. You use TikTok, you'll figure it out. At Hell Has Fury. And also, please join our Discord. You'll see a link in the show notes. If you tried Discord before and didn't work, I updated it so it worked. Please join us. And if you do like the show, review us wherever you get your podcast. It helps the algorithm. And you can find us on Please Pause on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, and on YouTube with audio only. But I do upload all the episodes to YouTube because people actually click them apparently now and not just try to watch Thor Dark World for free. Sad people. So definitely go do that and subscribe on YouTube if you like the content, just because it makes me feel better. And I think that's everything I need to say. So we will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.